Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers.
And we say good morning to you. Welcome aboard. We thought we were on, but we weren't on, so voila. Isn't that great? So anyway, good morning to you. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, which is okay. It is what it is. We're back on the air, and I'm not sure what I didn't do right. You see it popping up yet, big guy? Yeah. It's a little slow today. We are here live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We got baseball scheduled tonight. Ain't looking real good. That's not good English, but it ain't looking real good. My English teacher would roll over in her grave. There you go. It ain't looking real good. It's peppering down the rain. We're supposed to be at Pioneer Park, which is one of the primo ballparks in the area. Home of the Greenville Reds, which is with this gentleman's company. We're going to be talking to you coming up here in just a second. But 5:30 first pitch, airtime right around 5:05 if we can get it in, and we'll talk more about that. We'll run down who all is playing. Well, in fact, we got the brackets all the way across the state in AAA, AA, and single A baseball and softball. So it's all cool. It's all good. We've got the NBA to talk about. We've got college football. Nick Saban kind of calls out didn't call out Scott Frost. He called out the Central Florida Golden Knights in this mythical national championship they said they have. He said, nah. Sports betting, what's the very latest on that? That will be a blockbuster situation. You wait and see. Also, NASCAR shuts down on one of the teams for lack of sponsorship. And then one of the Cup drivers, that's on the Xfinity Series, one of the Cup drivers picks up a big-time sponsor going forward for the next couple of years. So all that, the NBA, Celtics put the hammer on the Cavaliers. Tonight it's the Rockets and the Warriors on the ice last night. We'll tell you all about that as well. So big show. Lots of information. That's what it's all about. We'll take our first break. Now we're set up and ready to go, and I apologize. I'm pretty sure that was on me. It's called operator error, and so, I just had a birthday. When you turn 74, it is what it is. So, the lady over goes, 74? You don't look 74. It's because I'm not 74. But anyway, I think it was my bad. You know what? There's only one man walked the earth perfect, and it sure ain't me. In fact, here's the verse of the day to get it started. We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust me with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths. How about that? That's a good one right there. And so we'll take a quick break. Our first guest is our buddy David Compton with the Johnson City Cardinals. He'll be guest number one as we're live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in Johnson City. And so we'll be right back right after this with our first guest, David Compton, talking Cardinal baseball here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, it goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop. So it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Don't forget, be sure and put your name in the hat for Dollywood tickets. Again, we're going to give them away on Monday, June the 4th. Already got, 48 names in the bucket already from all over the place, so we like that. And so you are certainly eligible to do the same thing. TomDailySports.com/contest. We'll announce the winner, 2 weeks from Monday? Is that right? Yep, 2 weeks from Monday. No purchase necessary. Good luck to you. Why would you not? You can win tickets to use them anytime between now and the park closing right after Christmas. So you can go in the summer, ride the rides, the water rides, go in the fall when it's got the cool there and all the arts and crafts and the the Southern gospel music, and then, or you can use them at Christmas. It's a couple of one-day tickets, and it's really a no-brainer. So we would encourage you to do that. We're here live again at the Tom Daly Sports Show. Let's get him in here, our very first guest, and we want to bring him on board. Our buddy, Mr. Compton from the Johnson City Cardinals in the house. So let me hit the proper camera, and let's see, it's right there. Good morning, my good friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, got the right buttons hit, and so, you ever had one of those days where you just want to take yourself.
Yeah.
You hate living with yourself. It's like, really? I've only been doing this 740 some times, and I didn't hit the right buttons.
Hey,
so.
we all have one of those days. Trust
Lord
me.
have mercy.
Just look outside. It's because of the weather. We'll just blame it on that.
Lord have mercy. So anyway, I apologize if we got a late start on this thing because Goober didn't hit the right buttons here. So, but anyway, only one man walked this earth perfect.
Absolutely.
It sure wasn't me, brother.
Absolutely. Hey.
Johnson City Cardinals. Check this out right here. This is awesome. The calendars are out. Hello, lady. My buddy Don Fish Lambert. I think she hung the moon. Here, Johnson City Cardinals again. The 2018 schedule. That's sharp looking.
I know. We said we just started passing those out because people were coming in. We don't have pocket schedules yet. And we're like, we need to create something where we can give that, and people look cool on the fridge and get them excited. It's got some of the past players that are up there. He's got Alex Reyes, which is probably the most notable one right there. He's just did his second rehab start, and he's going to be back hopefully with the big league club here soon.
Right there. Who's this young man? Right here.
I can't think of his name. It's
Carson. Is it Kelly?
No, it's not him. He's with the Springfield Carter AA team right now. It is. Stand by, and I can tell you. I think it's Bryce Denton is who it is. And then that one, I'm not 100% sure. I cannot tell you. I'm
That's
sorry.
Tom Taylor.
Yep.
Tom Taylor.
See, we all have our notes mixed up today, so it's just that type of day.
No, I just, but it doesn't matter. But it's really slick looking. Website I went on it this morning, JohnCityCardinals.com, and so neat stuff. Let's talk number one, redoing the seats. Pretty exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, that process starts here in about a week. I think it's May 22nd, and that starts. So those old seats, they're going to go out. There's going to be out there guys with tools, sledgehammers, knocking them out, and it's going to look totally different. I mean, the seats, everyone's got their own cup holder. They're going to be a nice, darker, softer color. It's just one of those that's going to be more comfortable and make the experience better. And the seats are going to be a little bit wider as well. It gives you a little bit more room, and it's exciting. I mean, this park has changed so much in the 4 years ago. This park was totally different. Now, I mean, it's going to be just wait for the years to come from the turf, the perch, new group areas. I mean, it's going to be so much fun to see what it's going to look like even next year.
Yeah. Well, I've said on the broadcast last week. We did the district tournament there. I've been at this a while. Been at a lot of ballparks over the years, and for me, easily, been on several different levels of minor league baseball. Easily top three stadiums for me to call a ball game in is TVA Credit Union Ballpark. It's just, as we talked last week, it's got the old throwback look, but you're getting ready to continue to put the modern amenities with new seats and the turf. And it's just, and the brick facade, the backstop and the webbing. It's it's a throwback, but yet it's a modern at the same time.
Oh, yeah, and it's an affordable outing too. That's the one thing too. I mean, it's affordable for families to be able to come out. It's one of those things we've learned in the process over years. I mean, yes, there's a game going on, but it's also you need your comforts of your own home. I mean, that's what we're kind of to go for. We want everyone to leave with a smile on their face. We want everyone to be excited to come back the next day. We want those young kids that maybe could be Johnson City Cardinals players in the next 10 to 15 years and just kind of get those memories, because that's really what we're in this for. I mean, yes, we're here for baseball, but at the same time, we want all those people just to be able to come back and be like, man, that was exciting. I want to go back, and just make sure that Johnson City knows. I mean, this is their team. This is the Johnson City Cardinals. I mean, that's your team. Get out there and support them. We definitely appreciate it.
Talking to David Compton again. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, and rain peppering down. We have baseball scheduled today at 5:30 at Pioneer Park in Greenville against the Greenville Green Devils. Again, as I said, the outset of the show here, ain't looking good, but we'll see. Stranger things have happened, but it's 80% chance of rain, and we've got that game set up. We'll go down through all the brackets coming up in a few minutes. We've got AAA, AA, Single A, softball, and baseball. Not only who's playing here locally, but who is still playing across the state. We'll run those down for you coming up here in just a few minutes. So let's talk about packaging. You've come out with the Texas Roadhouse ticket package, one of your big sponsors at the ballpark. And this is really, after you explained it to me, well, it's pretty easy to say. You're $36 and it's a $51 value. That's a no-brainer.
I mean, you're getting 6 tickets to a baseball game, and then you're getting a $15 meal voucher pretty much. It's a $15 entree. You can go in there with 2 people. Guess what? You're just going to have to pay for one person's meal. I mean, it's hard to beat. We talked to Matt Curley, who's the general manager at Texas Roadhouse. We love being involved with him. We sell their peanuts at the games, and they want to get involved a little bit more. And all you have to do is, whenever you see this, it's 6 Flex GA tickets, which means you can use them for any of the 34 home games, minus the playoffs, which we hope to be in this year. And whenever you call and order that, we'll send you the tickets, plus we'll send you the entree, so you can go out, have a date night, only have to pay for one meal, save you some money, right?
There you go. Ain't nothing like saving money on a date night.
Oh, definitely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, Mama's happy. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, it's a deal. It's one of the best ticket packages. It's our restaurant pack, and I think anyone that's interested today, you can find out more information at jccardinals.com, or give me a call, or anyone in our office a call at 423-461-4866, and we'll get you set up today.
Obviously, when the team gets here, the interest kind of builds, but now's a good time to call and get those tickets. And I know when we get a little bit closer and the media starts covering the Cardinals coming to town, and here's who's here, and here's who's coming out of the draft, the buzz gets there. But now it's a good time to get those tickets too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don't wait. I mean, it's one of those, get it now, especially the reserve section. Those things are going fast, and it's one of those, if you want a reserve seat, if you want a good one, the faster you call, the better chance you're going to have. I mean, we're almost completely gone with seats on the first or third base side, which is the home side. So you're going to have to
go to the visitor
side.
side.
You're going to have to go to the visitor side, but we like it either way. So it's just one of those, getting people in the ballpark, getting loud. I mean, that's what we want, a nice, loud, active crowd. And said, call today, call right now, and get those locked in for this year.
Over 65,000 clicked the turnstiles last year. You set a record again. It's an incredible year for Cardinal baseball. So from a corporate standpoint, someone out there watching has a business or wants to get involved, it's obviously a no-brainer to get, to tie your name to the Cardinals, because a lot of folks click those turnstiles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing new fans every year, too. I mean, from the season tickets that were purchased this year, I mean, there were new fans coming in on it. It's one of those, it's a no-brainer. I mean, we have some advertising opportunities, and partnership is like what we like to call it, because when we partner with someone, we want them to know, hey, we're here for you as well. So whether it be getting our buddy JC, go over to their business, do whatever we can when you help, and said across the board, whether it be a group outing, a sponsorship, you name it, we love to be involved with all the companies in this area and through all the Tri-Cities.
We're talking to David Compton, Johnson City Cardinals. Now, tomorrow you're releasing the big days, the promotional dates.
That is the most talked about, and people have been killing us about it.
Yeah.
But we had to, get some things finalized, and there's new theme nights, there's new bobbleheads. I think people are going to be extremely excited. And I think some of those nights are going to be an instant sellout because of how awesome they are. We are bringing back the one thing I can talk about. I know we've already done it before, but it's the We Back Pat. It's the Pat Summit Foundation on June 23rd. June 23rd
against the K-Mets.
Against the K-Mets, and that's going to be a great night. The players will be wearing specialty Pat Summit Foundation jerseys, and we're going to auction those off at the end of the night. Players will sign them if you want them to, and it's just a great foundation. I mean, she did so much in the East Tennessee area, and she's a legend, still is. I mean, and we just love to be able to get back and help any way we can. And so this is a little token that we can do for them.
So that's going to be on June 23rd. So the rest of the dates will be announced tomorrow.
I can't tell you anything else.
At what time tomorrow?
I think early afternoon.
Okay.
Early afternoon. That could change, but just be on lookout on our Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page, and even on the website.
So if you came to my show tomorrow, can you announce them tomorrow during the show? Is that too early?
Maybe.
I like it. I'm liking how he's talking. So
But, there's 2 theme nights that we've never done that people are going to enjoy, and there's specialty jerseys that go along with it too. And trust me, I'm excited. I wish I could tell you more.
there you go. There you go. Now, of course, the number one giveaway in professional baseball, we've heard this many, many times, bobblehead dolls. You've got some of those nights coming. I know you can't talk about it, but I know if you're a bobblehead doll collector, you'll want to know what's going on tomorrow for the Johnson City Cardinals. Again, and jccardinals.com is the website to go to. We are talking to our buddy David Compton. So you look at the teams coming in for 2018, and of course you have the ones in the Tri-Cities, Kingsport Mets, the Elizabethan Twins, the Greenville Reds, and of course the Johnson City Cardinals. Now in the Eastern Division, Burlington's affiliation is
The Royals,
Bluefield,
Blue Jays,
Danville, Braves,
yeah.
Princeton
Princeton Rays, excuse me.
Princeton Rays,
Yep.
and then Pulaski
Yankees.
So there you go.
I may have gotten those 2 mixed up right there, those last 2, but I believe it's Pulaski Yankees and Princeton Rays.
It is, yeah. It is Princeton Rays and the Pulaski Yankees. So when we say the stars of tomorrow, I know we hammer this all the time, but they truly do.
Mm-hmm.
Not just for the Cardinals, but these other teams have these kids that coming through. In particular, the Twins, they bring in kids here in Elizabeth, and they move them up pretty quick because
They do.
It's their only short season team they've got, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, there's so many great players that have came from the Appalachian League, and the one that's tearing it up right now, Vlad Guerrero Jr. He played for the Blue Jays organization for Bluefield, and I mean, it's just he's a stud. He's just like his dad. He's got that swing that's just a perfect stroke, and it's just one of those. He's going to be in the big leagues. I think the way he's hitting right now, there's no way he's not going to make it by the end of the season. I mean, he's just crushing it. For us, the Carson Kelly, the Paul DeYoung, the Yadier Molina, Tommy Pham. I mean, just those guys. I mean, even Jason Mott. It's just one of those things. It's crazy. Like we tell people, literally the stars of tomorrow are here, and it's hard for them to really, really see that. But I mean, they're up there. They're on the field right now.
There you go. Now, before I let you go, you have a great line of merchandise. I know I see a lot more people, thanks to your all's marketing efforts, a lot more people wearing Johnson City Cardinal stuff around town, around the area. Tell me about your merchandise.
Merchandise, we're actually going to get new merchandise in about a month. We're going to have it right before the season starts, and we love seeing it. We love seeing the stickers on the car, the hats out there, and like I said earlier, this is Johnson City's team, We love it. We want to be like the ETSU and the Science Hill here, and I think we are. I mean, we are Johnson City's team. This is the Johnson City Cardinals. We love seeing fans. We have fans that'll travel even from Irwin and Elizabeth and Unicoi, kind of far out to come to these things. And there's a lot of great Cardinals fans, and we just love seeing that around there because that means we're doing something right.
Sure.
Seeing that more often than not is a great thing.
And again, the game's going to be broadcast this year. I know they came an announcement on Monday. Our buddy Matt Davis, who I met during the district tournament.
Yep.
It's official now, so you can tell folks about Matt.
Yeah, Matt's good. He's an Alabama grad. We don't like that very much about him, but he's an Alabama grad. He's been here for a couple weeks now and kind of learning the ropes, and he's excited. He's ready to get out there and get rolling. He's testing out his equipment. Sometimes he tells us that he's going to do practice calls, and we're like, Matt, please be quiet. We're trying to work, but he just keeps doing it. But no, it's going to be exciting. He's very excited. He's just very new at it, but he's very good. And he's had some practice with some Smoky games recently, so he is. He's excited to jump on there. If only we have to work on the Alabama stuff in the office.
Yeah.
Though. That's
every now and then, even during the district tournament, he'll come up and go, Roll Tide.
That doesn't work here.
That
doesn't
rolls too
work
good.
here, no.
Doesn't work here at all.
No, he needs to take that back to Alabama.
Yep. Hello to Betty Lacey. Hello to Kim Witherspoon. Hello to Ricky Walters watching the show. We're live at Chick-Fil-A. We're talking to our buddy David Compton again from the Johnson City Cardinals. So, again, JohnsonCityCardinals.com. One more time, tell them about this is a no-brainer as far as a ticket value for the upcoming season. Tell us about it.
It's the Texas Roadhouse, the Johnson City ticket package. It's kind of like a restaurant pack. It comes with 6 Flex GA tickets, and what that means is 6 tickets you can use on any game minus the playoff games. You use those throughout the season. If you want to come one night just by yourself, or if you want to bring all 6 at one game, you can use it however you want. And then it comes with a $15 entree. What that means is you can go in there with 2 people. Guess what? You're only going to pay for one of them. It just includes like your food and sides and soda and water. It's a no-brainer deal. People have been buying them like hotcakes. Get them while you can, because we don't know if they're going to give us any more or not. So call today, 423-461-4866, or go to jccardinals.com for more info. And call us today, and we'll answer any questions you have, either about the Texas Roadhouse package, season tickets, mini plans, you name it, we got it.
There you go. The beautiful Amy Hartley is watching the show in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello, Amy. She's a nice one. I like her a lot. So hello, Amy. Hello to Betty Lacey. Hello to Kim Witherspoon and Ricky Walters, and somebody else I like a lot too. Oh, Miss Dawn Lambert. She's a nice one too. So Cardinal baseball, big club hanging. So got beat last night, but I think you're going to see the big boys, the big club come out of it and get going.
They are. They're on this weird trip where they just went to San Diego for 3 games and up to Minnesota. And those 2-game stretches where you only have 2 games, night game, early day game, and then you're back on it. It's hard to get in a groove like that. And especially coming from the West Coast, the time change is so different. They're back to Central, and then going to come back. So hopefully we can get the ball rolling. We need to get it going. They're going to be back in Busch, though, and after going there, there is no place like Busch Stadium. That's all I got to say. But then again, I'm a Cardinals fan, so what else can I say?
Who's your favorite all-time Cardinal?
I mean, everyone's always Ozzie Smith, but Willie McGee.
Willie
McGee,
yeah.
kind of players like that. Yadier Molina, too. I mean, my dog's named after Yachty, so it's hard to beat that, too.
There you go. And, of course, he started in Johnson City.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
yeah.
When you go to the ballpark, there's a big full-life picture of some of the former Cardinals from Johnson City are now in the big club. So it's
and like we said earlier, guys, pay attention. Promo calendar tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss it. It is exciting.
Appreciate you, big guy, very much.
No problem, Tom. Anytime.
Yep. Good man right there. Again, David Compton of the Johnson City Cardinals. Me put up on the screen again right there where you can enter to win at TomTowerSports.com. 2 tickets to Dollywood. All you got to do is put your first name, last name, email address, where you're from.
Can I get that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You can put your name in there. You can win it. You can take her.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Mama will be happy to ride the rides.
Absolutely.
You got that right. So, quick break. We'll be right back. We will come back, and we will tell you all about AAA, AA, and Single A baseball and soccer. Who's still playing? Rain peppering down. We got a game today scheduled. Not looking real good right now in Greenville at Pioneer Park, but we'll see. 5:30 first pitch if we play. We'll come back and tell you who's playing all across the state in all 3 brackets and in both baseball and softball next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, in 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here. With the ratio, goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import and Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back to the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. We are live again. We are at Chick-Fil-A. So we've got a schedule change. How about that? Interesting. Our baseball game has been moved to play at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. So it's going to be a 6 o'clock first pitch. I want to make sure I got this right now. It's still raining here in Johnson City, though, but let's see. Baseball team game change, now playing at East Tennessee State at 6. So we'll go on there at 5:30. If we can get it in. Of course, it's still peppering down the rain here, so I don't know. But they are going to move it, and so they're going to play it at East Tennessee State. The AA regional championship between Elizabethton and the Greenville Green Devils. So we'll say hello to Andy Thaxton in West Virginia watching, Betty Perry in Elizabethton, Leslie Marion in Nitro, West Virginia watching. Thank you, dear. Amy Hartley in Charlotte, Betty Lacey in Elizabethton, Kim Witherspoon in Piney Flats, or Colonial Heights, I guess. Ricky Walters in Elizabethton, and Don Lambert in Blunt Vegas. So there you go. Appreciate you, I guess, guys and ladies. So that is the very latest. We do have baseball, but it has been changed, playing at East Tennessee State at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll go on air at 5:30 with the broadcast if we can get it in tonight. Again, from Thomas Stadium on the campus of East Tennessee, or not on off campus, but on the home of the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. All right, here we go. Let's run them down for you. AA baseball, Elizabeth and Greenville. On the other side of the bracket, we'll be playing either Gibbs or Pigeon Forge on Friday or whenever we play it. We've got rain in here for today and tomorrow, and I think Friday as well. But Elizabeth and Greenville, 6 o'clock tonight at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. Weather permitting, Gibbs and Pigeon Forge on the other side of the bracket. Our winner tonight between Greenville and Elizabeth will stay home, play their loser. And, of course, if we lose the game, whoever loses the game tonight between Elizabeth and Greenville travels like we did last year to Pigeon Forge. So the other teams still in it: Signal Mountain, Meigs County, Grundy County, Smith County, Sycamore, Martin Luther King, Forest, Stewart County, Riverside, McNairy Central, Covington, and Haywood are the AA teams still playing baseball across the great state of Tennessee. In AAA baseball, Science Hill goes to Seymour tonight. Carnes and Farragut on the other side of that bracket, two powerhouses in Knoxville. Other teams still playing: Bradley Central, Cookeville, Stewart's Creek, Siegel, Rossview, Wilson Central, Brentwood, Ravenwood, Arlington, Bartlett, Collierville, and Houston are the AAA baseball teams still playing across Tennessee. And then in Single A, you've got University High at Greenback, and CSAS, they will be Lookout Valley's opponent on the other side of that bracket. And the two winner-loser plays on Friday in Single A. The other teams still playing in Single A baseball across the state include South Pittsburgh, Gordonsville, Franklin Grace, Eagleville, East Robertson, Columbia Academy, Huntington, Loretto, Union City, Trinity Christian, M Middle College, and MAHS out of Memphis. Those teams are still playing in baseball across the great state of Tennessee. Now let's run down softball for you. AA softball, Elizabeth and Unicoi County meeting number 6 tonight, weather permitting at Elizabethton. The other side of that bracket will be Gibbs and Kingston. And so again, winner, their loser. Loser up here goes to their winner. And that'll be on Friday night. If you win Friday night, so basically you're playing for home field advantage tonight in this game is what it comes down to. If you win Friday night, that's the one you got to have. That puts you in the state tournament next week. in Murfreesboro, which, quite frankly, is where I want to be. I want to be in Murfreesboro with the Elizabethton Cyclone baseball and Lady Cyclone softball teams. I'm just telling you, that's where I'd like to be next week. Double A softball, the other teams involved: Meigs County, Sweetwater, Sequatchie County, DeKalb County, White House Heritage, Greenbrier, Giles County, Creekwood, Dyersburg, McNairy Central, Ripley, and Covington in Double A softball across the state. In Triple A softball, Morristown, East Jeff County playing. On the other side of their bracket are the Lady Governors of William Blount and Knox Powell. Other teams still playing in Triple A softball across the state: Ottawa, Walker Valley, Lincoln County, Coffee County, Beach, Henry County, Brentwood, Summit, Dyer County, Hardin County, Collierville, and Memphis Houston are the teams in AAA softball still playing. Then in Single A, from our neck of the woods, Unaka Lady Rangers, a state tournament participant a year ago. Lady Rangers play North Green when they can get it going, maybe tonight, maybe not. Tellico Plains and Sale Creek on the other side of that bracket. Also still playing in Single A softball statewide: Whitewell, South Pittsburgh, Moore County, Cascade, Houston County, Columbia Academy, Loretto, Summertown, South Fulton, Gibson County, MAHS, and M Middle College. I got to check those teams out tonight. I want to see who those are. I've never heard of those, because I don't do any Double A and Single A softball per se, so they're new names to me, but interesting, so we'll have to double check. Hey, we're at the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Got an event coming up you need to have catered. You want to consider getting some chicken. You want to consider getting some in the morning. Get some of these great chicken mini trays. Tray of bite-sized Chick-fil-A nuggets nestled in mini yeast rolls that are lightly coated with honey butter spread. 20 chicken minis will serve 5 folks. 40 chicken minis will serve 10 folks. And so they're a phone call away at 952-0031 here at the Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. 952-0031. Also, Chick-fil-A chicken biscuits, the fruit tray, the Greek yogurt parfaits, all those available at breakfast to cater at your local Chick-fil-A. And, of course, the Chick-fil-A we talk about local is here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 748 on this rainy Wednesday here in Johnson City. How about it? The Boston Celtics go up 2-0. LeBron, 21 points in the first quarter. Thought, uh-oh, here we go. But the Celtics put the clamps on him. He had a triple-double, but it didn't matter as the Celtics beat him going away 107-94, taking Game 2 last night in Beantown. Game 3 coming up Saturday in Cleveland. The next 2 in Cleveland. Game 3 is, to me, it's a series. If you can't win 3, you're in trouble if you're the Cavaliers, and they may be in trouble, but they're going back home. Jaylen Brown, 23 points, 6 different Celtics, including all 5 starters, get double digits. Also, Marcus Smart in double figures as well. LeBron losing calls, triple-double, 42 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds in the loss, and so the Celtics go up 2-0. Who'd have thunk it? And then on the other side of the ledger, Game 2 tonight in Houston between the Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors leading that game, and that series rather, 1-0. Game 2 coming up tonight in Texas. We are live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again, real quick, soccer from last night. Run them down for you before we take a break, and he is here and ready to go. Our dear friend Greg Salyer talking Major League Baseball. Last night in soccer, you had Bearden eliminating Science Hill 6-0. Dobbins Minute beat Knox West 3-0. In Double-A soccer last night, Sevier County shuts out Sullivan Sound 9-0. Greenville eliminates Pigeon Forge 5-0. In Single-A, you have Alcoa defeating University High 4-1, and Gatlinburg-Pittman beat Chucky Doak 5-4 in regional soccer play. So the championships are set. Tomorrow night, AAA Dobbins Minute goes to Knox Bearden. In Double-A tomorrow night, Greenville will be at Sevier County, and in Single-A tomorrow night, Gatlinburg-Pittman will play at Alcoa. Again, Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, we've moved the site from 5:30 in Greenville to 6 o'clock at Thomas Stadium here in Johnson City, the home of the East Tennessee State Buccaneers. We'll see. Was it raining coming in?
It's raining.
Pouring it down?
Yeah.
If you were going to be a betting man, would you say we won't play tonight?
I would say, I'd say 99% chance you won't play tonight.
We won't play.
Yeah.
There you go. Coming right off the man who would know, our buddy Greg Salyer. He knows everything. He knows a lot about baseball, and I'm not making light. He knows a lot about baseball. And we're going to take a break, come right back, get him set up and ready to roll. We got stories about the Dodgers. We got stories about the Houston Astros. Got stories about the Yankees. Also in our baseball report, the Pittsburgh Pirates keep on keeping. The Cardinals can't score. That was not what David wanted to hear, but they can't score. David from our buddy from the Johnson City Cardinals. And also Jordan Lyles, big night last night for Jordan. And also one of the, some say a future Hall of Famer, is let go for 80 games for this 2018 season. We'll tell you all about that. We'll do our Major League Baseball update next with our buddy Greg Salyer. We're live at Chick-Fil-A in the Crossings in North Johnson City. Don't forget to put your name in the hat right here. We got 40, as of this morning, 48 names in the bucket already. We'll give it away on Monday, June the 4th. TomTaylorSports.com/contest. And again, all we need is first name, last name, your email address, so we can get a hold of you if you win. And, of course, the town you live in. That's all we need. Quick break. We'll be right back. We are here live at Chick-fil-A on show number 748 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Welcome to the Mini Morning News Show, where we are so excited about Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis for breakfast that we've minified the news.
In real estate news, tiny homes for those who like everything within arm's reach.
In culinary news, micro food, because, you know, small plates.
In entertainment news, this year it's all about the mini-series.
In pop culture news, mini everything.
Because, aw. All right, thanks for listening. Now go put some mini in your morning with the chicken you love for breakfast. Chick-fil-A's Chicken Minis until 10:30 a.m.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Our great sponsor at Sprint, giving you a chance to save at all Sprint stores across the Tri-Cities. When you go into any Sprint store and say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, they'll give you 25% off or a fourth off any accessory in the store. That would include Urban Armor gear cases, OtterBox cases, any screen protectors, tempered glass, 25% off, wireless charging stands, pop sockets, tablet cases, wireless chargers, battery packs are all 25% off when you say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball. Also, Beats headphones, both the headphones and the earbuds, 25% off when you say you heard the show. Also, three-piece magnetic organizers, battery packs, tablet cases, JBL portable flip speakers. It goes on and on. Anything accessory in the store at any Sprint store in the Tri-Cities, say you heard the Tom Taylor Sports Show and or Elizabethton Cyclone Baseball, and save 25% off today at your Sprint store across the Tri-Cities.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again. We are here, and the rain keeps peppering down and checking the radar. We're scheduled to play baseball at 6 o'clock at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State, but it ain't looking too good, do you think?
I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I don't think it's going to happen either. We are joined by our buddy Greg Salyer again. Let's get him on the screen. There he is, our Major League Baseball update. How you doing, big guy?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
You have already put your name in the hat for the Dollywood ticket, is that correct?
Verbally.
Verbally. Oh, well, you got to do the literal.
Yeah, I got to do the literal. I didn't know if I qualified or not.
Of course you qualified.
Okay, I didn't know if
anybody but me qualifies.
Okay, I didn't know.
I can't win it, but anybody else, it's wide open. And I'm being serious. If you're out there going, well, I know Tom, can I? Absolutely. If you don't, shame on you. It's your fault, because everybody is definitely qualified to win tickets to go to Dollywood.
All right,
so,
we'll do it.
Yeah. Why would you not? I mean, what's your favorite thing at Dollywood? Train.
I was going to say Wild Eagle, and here you say train. Listen to you.
Come on, Wendy, let's ride the train. Okay.
No, my favorite might be the elephants. Yeah.
Well, he threw it right back in me. Touche Tent. There you go.
No, I think the Wild Eagle's my favorite ride. I love that.
Yeah. That's one where
you're hanging over
you're
the
two here, and the other two are hanging out.
You're hanging out
Literally.
Yeah, you're hanging out.
Is that when you do? Does it do a loop?
Oh yeah.
All your change fly out of your pocket?
It can, yeah,
Good
it can.
Okay. Anyway, Dollywood tickets, my man Greg. We all ride the train.
I'll ride the train and the Wild Eagle if I win the tickets. How's that?
There you go. Let's see. What is it? What's the one?
And maybe the elephants.
Scrambler, the bumper cars.
The Scrambler. We always ride the Scrambler.
Scrambler.
And the bumper cars too. We always.
The Ferris wheel's gone, isn't it?
I think so. You know, I've never been a big Ferris wheel fan. I don't know why. I just don't care for those. So.
Great story. We'll get into matters at hand. At the fair, they used to bring the double-decker.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's called, the St. Louis wheel or something. It's like, kiss it goodbye is what I call a wheel because it's a double. So we get up on the top, the two wheels. And, of course, they rotate the whole ride. So I'm up on the top wheel at the very top. And I'm not lying to you. You can see the top of the kiddie rides. I mean, the umbrella tent looks about that big.
Oh, yeah.
We were so far up, the birds are flying under us. And I'm up there, and they start rocking, starts rocking the buggy. I mean, we're way up there, and you have these little bolts. That's all it's holding. I told her, I said, you probably want to rock this right now. I said, are you getting scared? I just reached out and grabbed that metal handle just in case. And I'm thinking, I'm pretty stupid because that ain't gonna help me either. We're this far up, so. You're not a big fan of Ferris wheels?
I'm not a big fan of Ferris wheels. No. If it'll go fast, like the Wild Eagle, I'm good.
Yeah.
But I don't like to be up there and have to stay up
Just
there.
sit.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Oh, yeah. Sit up here and you hear, beep, 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 hear these birds chirping flying underneath you.
Because, those bolts have been taken in and out hundreds of times.
Oh, I know. So. I'm thinking, okay, just wonder if they just didn't tighten it up this time or the bolts stripped out.
Yeah.
And here I'm up here, she's rocking the thing back and forth. Okay, that was about 4 or 5 years ago now. I think been on one since.
Yeah,
so there you go.
I don't blame you.
All right. So anyway, Dollywood tickets. That's all you got to do is first name, last name. Go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. First name, last name, and your email address. And good luck. We'll give them away on June the 4th. Talking baseball. Let's run down the scoreboard from last night. Padres beat the Rockies 4-0. Pittsburgh over Chicago 7-0. The Yankees, the Nationals got suspended because of weather. Baltimore hosting Philadelphia got totally rained out. Detroit beat Cleveland 9-8. Mets all over the Blue Jays 12-2. A's beat the Red Sox 5-3. Marlins 4, the Dodgers 2. Dodgers continue to struggle. We'll talk about that in a moment. Cubs 3, Braves 2. Twins over the Cardinals 4-1. Rays beat the Royals 6-5. Arizona 2, Milwaukee 1. Astros over the Angels 5-3. Mariners beat the Rangers 9-8 and 11. And the Reds on the left coast lose to the Giants 5-3. So let's start off with the Los Angeles Dodgers losing. And as we said, lost to the Marlins 4-2. They're fresh off a 4-game home sweep at the hands of as this says, lowly Reds, which you'll probably take exception to. That's 5 losses in a row. They've also dropped 8 of their last 9. They're now a season worst 9 games under 500. And stated another way, the 5-time defending National League Western champions are on pace to lose 99 games. You follow baseball very thoroughly. What is wrong with the Dodgers right now?
Wow, who would have thought the Dodgers would be in this situation right now? Injuries is part of it. The good thing is Justin Turner's coming back. Logan Forsythe is coming back. Both of those guys, if they didn't play last night, they're back today or tomorrow. So, that's good news. The Dodgers need that help. I watched those 4 games that they played against Cincinnati. Their bullpen is not good. That's been a strength for the Dodgers in years past, and unfortunately this year it's not. Starting pitching, some of it was really good. Some of it was a little bit sketchy. Kershaw's not being Kershaw for one thing, and I don't know if there's a little bit more to maybe a little injury that he's not letting out there or what. But the Dodgers, they're just not the Dodgers. Matt Kemp's playing well. He had a couple of games against the Reds that he looked like the Matt Kemp who 5 or 6 years ago was the best player in baseball. So Puig's not hitting for average. That's another issue. I mean, when you look at their lineup, they don't scare anybody because every guy in the lineup's hitting 230 or less, except for one or two guys. So, if you're not scoring runs and your pitching's giving up runs, then you got a problem.
Recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, they're only a half game out of the last place in the National League West. They're above the Padres by a half game. In fact, the Padres have more wins. They've got 17. The Dodgers have 16 wins. So it's early. It's middle of May, and maybe the Dodgers get it turned around. But they got a. And I've seen them do it. Who got on the big win streak last year? Was the Dodgers? Somebody got on a tear the last part of the season.
It was the Indians.
Indians. Thank you, the Indians. I knew somebody who just completely did a 360, flipped the switch, and got going. So
yeah, won like 23 or 24 in a row last year.
That's right. It was him. See, I told you the guy knows his baseball. So anyway, it's not over yet, but you want to start getting things turned around if you're the Dodgers, and we'll see if they can do that tonight. The other big game last night, Astros trailed the Angels by a score of 3-1 in the eighth inning. Reigning American League MVP Jose Altuve, who started down the road in Greenville when they were the Astros, now they're the Reds, stepped to the plate with one out, bases loaded, fell behind 0-2 on an 0-2 pitch, hammered a bases clearing double, and so it was a big win last night for the Astros over the Angels 5-3. That's a pretty good race out there in the American League West, rather.
Yeah, that American League West is a division to watch for sure. I think eventually it may come down to two teams, but right now there's three teams that are definitely in it. Seattle being the third team there, but I think Houston and the Angels are both really good teams this year. I'll go out on a limb and say Houston's probably the best team in the American League. I don't know. I don't know. The Yankees or the Red Sox could be right there with them, but I think both Houston and the Angels will be in the playoffs come October.
Dr. Greg Sauer talking Major League Baseball. We're live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. How about the Pirates? There's 7-0 victory last night. Puts them 7 games over 500 on the season. This is after they get rid of McCutchen and Cole and kind of clean house in Pittsburgh, and yet they're playing some pretty solid baseball. They're hanging right in there.
They absolutely are. They're not going to have a load of guys make the All-Star team, I'll bet. But you know what? They're playing solid ball. They're not the names that everybody knows about, but Josh Bell and company are putting up the W's, and that's what matters. So if you look at their lineup, though, I mean, they're solid. They really are. I like the guys they have. They got Dickerson from the Rays and put him in left field, and he's a solid Major League outfielder now. So that was a good move. When you think giving up McCutchen was going to really hurt them, but so far it really hasn't.
Nope, has not. Would you please read the verse of the day? We always dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross. I unashamedly do that. I got my fingers in his belt loop and hanging on. Tried it other ways, and the best way to try it is the Lord's way. Trust me on that one. I can give you that answer with lots of authority. If you try it yourself, it usually is a recipe for disaster, is it not?
It is.
There you go. So I'm doing it his way now, and it's a whole lot better, I can tell you that. So if you would please, sir.
Proverbs
3, 5, and 6 says,
"Trust in me with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths."
There you go. There was a bell here somewhere. What happened to the bell?
Yeah, it's over there. It's over there.
Where?
Keep going. Over on the edge.
Oh. It's kind of messy here. I
There
got
we
this
go.
new light. Don said, get a light. And I said, yes, ma'am. So we have a light. So there you go. All right. Which kind of makes it a little bit more condensed here at the old broadcast facility. We're live here again. Doug Fritz joins us coming up at the bottom of the hour. We are live here again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. The Cardinals now 0-3 against the Twins this season. Cardinals now tied for 13th in the National League in runs scored. In 12 games in May, the Cardinals have scored a total of 38 runs. 17 of those are clustered in only 2 games this month. Cardinals last season had a respectable 7th in the National League in scoring. Right now they're tied for 13th. That tells me the offense is not getting it done for the Cardinals right now.
The offense is floundering for the Cardinals, and if you look at it, they had some holes to fill as well. They kind of cleaned house, even though you wouldn't call anything that they did a rebuild at all. But they got rid of a lot of names last year and had some guys step up, and guys that have been producing like Tommy Pham, you look at the Cardinals, and they're the Cardinals. They're Teflon. They're going to be in the middle division no matter what. They're never going to be last. But,
Pains you to say that too, doesn't it?
It does. Kills me. But
being a Reds fan.
But right now they are not playing well. They're without Adam Wainwright, and that's going to hurt them. And they're not scoring the runs. I was a little bit skeptical of Marcell Ozuna when they got him, to see what he would be able to do without Christian Yelich and Giancarlo Stanton batting around him in the order. He's put up good numbers, but maybe not what the Cardinals were expecting. And it's still a long season. I don't count them out by any means, but the Cardinals are not the Cardinals that we normally see.
We're talking to Greg Sire, talking Major League Baseball. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Jordan Lyles moved from the bullpen to the rotation just a few days ago. First start of the season, pitched quite well against the Cardinals. Last night against his former team, the Rockies, who let him go in August of last year, was even better. He flirted with history, within 5 outs of twirling the first perfect game no-hitter in Padres franchise history. Trevor Story rained on his parade with a line drive single in the 8th inning. But again, Jordan Lyles, 7 innings of baseball, walked 1, struck out 10, 1 hit, of course the shutout, 85 pitches. Out of the 85 pitches, 64 for strikes.
Wow.
That's getting it done.
That's getting it done. And I like him a lot. He was with the Astros back in the days when they were struggling. But he was a gamer. He was a guy that when you saw him pitching for the Astros, you had to think that they were in the game. Even when they were losing 100 games a year and he was pitching for them, you had to think that they were still in the game. And so good for him. I'm glad he had such a great outing. I wish he'd got the perfect game. We need another one of those.
Yep, it'd been neat, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
A rough May's gotten even worse for the first place Diamondbacks. Have announced that center fielder A.J. Pollock, with a fracture in his left thumb, out 4 to 8 weeks. That is huge. Got hurt on a diving attempt in the outfield on Monday night, so he's out. That's a big blow for that team.
That's a huge blow to that team. I will tell you, this at this point in the season, before the injury, A.J. Pollock was my odds-on favorite to be the MVP in the National League. I really think that he was putting up that kind of season. And he was basically carrying that team, to be honest. If you look at that lineup and you see their batting averages, even guys like Goldsmith, who are known for just really having a lot of pop and doing the right things with the bat, they're not really producing this year. But A.J. Pollock was the guy. So anxious to see what happens with the Diamondbacks those 4 to 8 weeks that he's out with that fractured thumb. Hopefully they can keep playing well and other guys are going to step up. But so far this year, he's been the guy for the Diamondbacks.
There's my buddy Brian's in there from the Bank of Tennessee. How you doing, buddy? He's my personal banker. Tim, he's a good guy. When I bring in his little sacks of pennies, he counts them for me. He said, "Don't bring any more sacks of pennies." Oh, that's good stuff. Hello, and good morning, young lady. That would be Ms. Lambert. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Can I give a plug to this lady's photography company? She does a wonderful job, Dawn Lambert Photography. You can go on her Facebook page, and she specializes in taking pictures of sports teams. And so you need to go and check out her website, or Facebook page rather, and her website too, but certainly her Facebook page, Dawn Lambert Photography. And so she does a superb job, and she, as the old boy says, she'll get her done. She gets it done for you. So hello, Ms. Lambert. Hope you're having a great day. Robinson Cano, right?
Yes.
Did I say it right?
You
Robinson
said it
Cano?
right, yeah.
Here's something I've learned in all seriousness. I've been trying to find a pronunciation guide. Associated Press used to put one out. They would phonetically put out like Kenobi, K-U-H-N-O, Robinson Cano. I can't find one, so every time I say one of these names, I'm thinking, I hope I'm getting this right. So I did. Thank you. Robinson Cano, Mariners second baseman, suspended for failing a performance-enhancing drug test. Not good for him and not good for the Mariners.
Yeah, definitely not good for the Mariners. They're a game and a half back in their division and playing extremely well, but they need Robinson Cano. Now, here's the interesting thing. He was injured. He just got hit by a pitch, broke his hand. And from my understanding, this 80-game suspension will start now. They're not going to wait until he comes off the disabled list, which I was surprised. I thought that he would have to be eligible to play for that suspension. But from my understanding, I might be wrong about that, and they may have changed it. But when they first came out with this suspension, they said, no, it starts now. He's not appealing it. It's going to just go ahead and begin. And you know, the interesting thing was the drug that they found. They found Lasix. He says that a doctor in the Dominican Republic gave it to him for an issue that he had. Now, Lasix is what you know, us pastors, we know enough about medical stuff just to be dangerous, but I'm around the hospital a lot, and I see people taking Lasix for things, and usually that has to do with fluid retention. And when someone has a lot of fluid in their body, they give them Lasix to get it out. Yeah.
Makes them use the restroom.
Yeah. Basically. So the only thing that I have heard that Lasix would do for an athlete perhaps is cover up the fact that they have other performance-enhancing drugs. So I don't know if that's the case or not. Hopefully not. I hope he genuinely received that in the Dominican Republic for a health condition and just didn't know what the guy was giving him. And I mean, I wouldn't have thought that would have been a medication that was on the list anyway. But anyway, 80 games, and it's going to hurt the Mariners, that's for sure.
We're talking to Greg Sire of Major League Baseball again. The change in the baseball game today has been moved from Greenville's Pioneer Park to Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State at 6 o'clock, Greenville and Elizabethton. But as Doug did the backstroke in here, he may say going to be a little doubtful, I would think. But they've moved it to Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State for a 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll see. They'll play?
Really?
Think so? All right.
Wow.
All it has to do is just not be doing this at 6 o'clock, and
They'll play it to get it started.
Do this till 5:59.
Glad I'm not playing.
Man, really. He's wiping the rain off his legs. He's wearing shorts, and it's peppering, and I can see out the window here. We're live again. One more I want to talk about is Stephen Piscotty.
Yeah.
Kind of a warm and fuzzy story, and then we'll get into the standings, and then I'll give you the schedule, and you're going to get you some good chicken today. So tell me about Stephen Piscotty.
Well, you know, the Cardinals, I'll tell you, I was just really impressed with what they did for Stephen Piscotty when they traded him to the Oakland A's, just so he could be near his mom, who was in the last stages of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And just recently, his mother passed away. I think it was last week. And so Stephen Piscotty was on the bereavement list. He came back yesterday and playing against Boston, in Boston, his first at-bat, he hits a home run over the Green Monster. Just a real emotional moment for him. You know, the only thing I can think of that compares to that was when Michael Lorenzen did the same thing for the Reds when his dad died. His first at-bat after he came back, you know, he hit a home run. But that's an emotional thing, and good for him. You know, I'm a fan of this guy, and hope that he just tears it up the rest of the year for the A's. And, you know, that's always a good thing for baseball especially. But then, you know, just from the human side of it.
Yep. Yeah, he's going to do some tough stuff that's far more important than baseball, I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
Let's run down the schedule for you. Chicago, these are all day games. Chicago and Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Cleveland and Detroit, Cardinals and Minnesota, Toronto at New York to battle the Mets, and Tampa Bay at Kansas City. Under the light, or on one more, it's Texas at Seattle. Under the lights tonight, the Yankees in Washington, Oakland at Boston, and Houston will be in L.A. Justin Verlander on the mound for the Astros at 4-2 against Richards for the Angels, who's 4-1. That ought to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
And then also, I think the one worth watching is the Yankees in Washington. CC Sabathia for the Yankees and Max Scherzer 7-1 for the Nationals tonight. That ought to be a heck of a matchup. And that's me a preview of what we'll see a little bit later on this year. Over the National League, we told you, the Reds will be in San Francisco, a day game there. Matt Harvey gets his second start for the Redlegs. The Dodgers in Miami, and the Cubs will be in Atlanta. Chatwood for Chicago, and McCarthy for the Braves, 7:35 first pitch. So there you go in that. Before we get out of here again, run down the standings right now as we head to baseball tonight.
Yeah, American League East, we got the Yankees in front. Boston's a game back. Yankees have won 2 in a row. Boston's lost 2 in a row. That's why they are where they are. Toronto's at even 500, 21-21. Tampa Bay in 4th. And then Baltimore coming up in 5th right now in the American League East. In the Central, is a real interesting division for me right now because every team has a losing record. You can't think it's going to be like that at the end of the season. Especially the way Minnesota has been playing as of late, because they've won their last. They're 7-3 over their last 10 games. Detroit's won 3 in a row as well, so they're only a game back, even though their record's 19-22. Cleveland's winning that division with a 20-21 record, .488 winning percentage. I don't think we'll be talking about this in August like that. But, it's interesting at this point in the season, still in the middle of May, that we're looking at a division with every team with a losing record.
That is interesting. Does that tell you there's parity in baseball?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, because I'll be honest, I thought Cleveland, knowing, with the unbalanced schedule or the balanced schedule, however you want to call it, that they play their division more than they play anyone else. I really thought with the teams that Cleveland would be playing in their division that they might have one of the best records in the American League this year, but it looks like that's not going to be the case.
Hungry?
I'm hungry. Yeah. Let's mention the Braves too real quick.
All right.
Best record in the National League, Atlanta Braves. Who would have thought we'd be seeing that?
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. I mean, I would have thought that at this point in time they would be in 3rd place. Maybe 4th place, but they have the best record in the National League. Good for them. Ozzie Albies is just tearing it up. Mm-hmm. I mean, he and Ronald Acuna, those 2 kids, I think they're both 20 years old, and they are just tearing it up. I think Albies is tied for the lead in home runs now. So who would have thought we would have seen that from the Braves? But good for them. I know we got a lot of Braves fans in this area, so.
Yep, they're having a heck of a run, so they're back on the wagon too. The Braves fans are crowing once again about their beloved Atlanta Braves, and deservedly so. Good job, my friend. Get something good to eat. See you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right, quick break. We'll be right back. We're live here at Chick-Fil-A. Doug Fritz joins us next. Johnson City Press. We'll get his take on this sports gambling thing. The Supreme Court has ruled now is unconstitutional, so now they're going to allow state by state to permit you to gamble on sports, including amateur sports. It's a recipe for disaster, I'm telling you right now. And the best part about this is every pro team that you're going to bet on wants I love the phrase they use, an integrity fee. 1% of everything. If you bet on a Major League Baseball game, then if you bet $500, 1% of that goes to Major League Baseball for an integrity fee. And now the players come out and say, well, if the league gets it, and I'm out here playing on the field, then I deserve some money. And the NBA's saying it, NFL's saying it. Now, and of course, how does the NCAA regulate this too? We'll talk about this with my man next year. But first, a break to tell you what's coming up in about a month at Bristol Dragway here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
This Father's Day weekend, man-made thunder rumbles into town as Bristol Dragway hosts the Fitzgerald USA NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals. Witness the raw power of the fastest sport in the world. Every ticket is a pit pass. Buy before June 1st and save, including free tickets for kids 12 and under on Sunday. Treat Dad to the heart-pounding power of 10,000 horses. This Father's Day weekend, visit ThunderValleyTix.com or call 423-BRISTOL.
The savings continue the month of May at Max Medicine Mart in Kingsport. All Gaia and Solgar products 20% off at Max Medicine Mart. Solgar producing fine quality nutritional supplements for 71 years, and Gaia both 20% off in the month of May. No coupons, no limits. Every time you purchase any and all Solgar or Gaia products in the month of May, automatic 20% off. Open 7 days a week, right down the street from Dobbins Minute on Center Street in Kingsport. Again, Solgar and Gaia products 20% off the month of May at Max Medicine Mart. Max Medicine Mart, Center Street in Kingsport. Make tracks to Max. Do you have an asphalt driveway or parking lot? Do you see cracks in the pavement? Well, maybe it's time to call Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance for a free estimate. You see, with the freezing and thawing of winter, cracks form in your pavement, allowing water to get under the asphalt, eroding the stone base underneath, which could lead to your pavement buckling. At Bracken Pavement and Asphalt Maintenance, they can fill the cracks, keeping water out of the cracks. And if you don't know for sure, hey, it's worth a call and a free estimate. Phone number is 323-8726. 323-8726. Residential driveways, commercial and church parking lots. They pave, they crack fill, they can stripe new and restripe old. Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance at 323-8726 or on the web at brackenpaving.com.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Look at him right there, our buddy Doug Fritz. Wave, there he is. So, peppering down the rain.
It is
outside,
indeed.
big guy. Yep. Yeah, I just don't see him playing, but, who am I to say? But the disappointing part about this will be, for me, is to have a game of this magnitude if they go ahead and play it on a sloppy field, and that's exactly what's going to be. It's been raining since I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, so we'll see.
Well, the problem that you have is the
time frame.
Well, it's the weather, because, for example, UH is going down to play at Greenback today. The weather down there, Science Hill, Seymour, Greenback, Seymour, those areas, the weather's pretty good down there. They should be able to get those games in without a problem. If you don't play up here, you're looking at a Thursday, Friday turnaround from region final to sectional, and if the other team, say, for example, say the District 3-4 gets their game in, and you don't get your game in here, they're going to have an edge pitching-wise and everything for that sectional game. So it puts the pressure on you to try and get the games played up here if the Knoxville area is going to be able to get their games in.
There's your radar screen. Johnson, see that big green button in the middle. So that's your screen. And then I look to the daily. 80% today, 70% tomorrow, 60% Friday. When's the state tournament start?
Tuesday.
So you're talking, but these kids have been playing back-to-back all season long, so you could even play a Saturday, Sunday, or a Sunday, Monday.
But the problem is with that new pitch count rule. For example, if you bring a kid in and he throws 28 pitches on Wednesday, he can still pitch Friday.
Yep.
If you play on Thursday, he can't pitch on Friday. So I mean, it's a tough decision for these coaches, and I guess that's the reason why Greenville was willing to give up a home game and come here to John City to basically play a home game for Elizabethton. And, maybe, there's, 15 minutes compared to 30 minutes, whatever it is, not a huge difference, but certainly Elizabethton's played on that field before. I don't think Greenville has. So it's basically a home game for Elizabethton the way I look at it.
We'll see. Still peppering down the rain, but again, what we're speaking of, the Elizabethton game, which we're covering against the Greenville Green Devils, has been moved to Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State here in Johnson City with a 6 o'clock first pitch if we can get it going. But I'm looking out the window and still peppering down the rain, so we'll see. AA baseball, Elizabethton, Greenville. On the other side of the bracket is Gibbs and Pigeon Forge. That's the team stands in the way to get you down the road to the state tournament. So you're basically looking at tonight you're playing for home field advantage, because Friday night, that's the one you got to win to get to the state tournament, correct?
That is correct, and if you're looking at those two teams right there, you want to avoid Gibbs. They're really, really good, and not that Pigeon Forge is any kind of a bargain. They've got a great tradition and so forth, but if I'm picking, I'd like to play Pigeon Forge at home.
AAA baseball, Science Hill goes to Seymour tonight. The other side of that bracket is Carnes and Farragut. What are you hearing about those two teams?
About Carnes and Farragut? Those are probably the two best teams in the state, maybe. Farragut, just because of tradition, and Carnes because they're just loaded with talent. They've got the best player in the state. Science Hill gets no bargain whichever team they get, home or away. Carnes has already beaten Science Hill this year at Science Hill. So, there's no bargain there for that sectional game.
Talking to Doug Fritz, see on the screen of the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Single A, University High goes to Greenback. The other side, who is CSAS?
It's Chattanooga School for Arts and Sciences.
There you go. I knew you'd know.
And I don't know much about them, but now Lookout Valley's a tradition-rich team. That's the one you'll want to avoid there. If you're University High, you'd like to play CSAS at home. So
you want to avoid Gibbs here if you're AA. If you're AAA, either one of those, It's like pick your poison, Carnes and Farragut.
I
right?
think if I had to play one, I'd rather play Carnes because of tradition. Because Farragut's just been there and been there. I know Jeff County went on the road last year and beat them at Farragut, but I'd still rather play Carnes at home.
And Lookout Valley's team want to watch out on the other bracket if you're single A, right?
Yeah, and that's I obviously don't know a lot about those teams, but I'm just looking at tradition, and Lookout Valley has it and CSAS doesn't.
Softball, Elizabeth, Unicoi County, Game 6 tonight between those two. If they can get that one in Elizabethton. Other side of that bracket is Gibbs and Kingston.
And that's a deal where Elizabeth and Unicoi are basically playing each other for a chance to go to the state tournament, because the loser more than likely is going down to Gibbs and more than likely will not be able to beat Gibbs. Gibbs is just by far and away the best team in the state, I think, or definitely one of the top three, and Gibbs won a Triple-A title a couple of years ago. They're year in, year out, they're threatening for state titles. Winning at their park in the sectional is really tough.
So if you're winning that game,
if the Elizabeth and Unicoi winner tonight plays at home, more than likely against Kingston, a chance to win and go to the state. The loser goes to Gibbs and
there you go.
Probably done.
Triple-A softball, Morristown, East Jefferson County. Other side of that bracket is William Blount and Knox Powell.
Not a lot of scary things tradition-wise there, so just basically East and Jeff County just trying to get that home field advantage. I don't think it really matters who they play there.
And then on the single-A softball, you've got Unaka, who went to the state tournament a year ago at North Green. The other side of their bracket is Sail Creek and Tellico Plains.
And both of those teams, Sail Creek and Tellico Plains, are both pretty good softball teams from what I understand. I think I'd probably rather play Tellico Plains just because I've heard a little bit more about Sail Creek so far this year, but they're both good.
Went back and did these purple notches, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in the first round regional. Teams won that were the runner-ups were not the favorite going in. That was in AA. In AAA, teams have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AAA teams, in essence, upset because they went in as the runner-up and beat the winning team of the other team's conference. But in single A, you had 2, the Chattanooga School of Arts and Sciences and MAHS. Oh, yeah, the M Middle College. What is that one? You ever heard of that one?
What are we looking at here? Middle College. That must be a new. That's probably, and I ought to go on a limb. It may be a magnet school. It may be Magnet Middle College or something like that. I'm not really sure. It's unfamiliar to me. And they generally, when they open these new schools, especially in a big city like that, it's just an inner city magnet school, kind of like CSAS is in Chattanooga, and there's some other ones across the state, Murfreesboro Central Magnet and that sort of thing.
So next week, state tournament in softball and baseball in Murfreesboro. Who do you think, if you could roll the dice right now, who do you think will be going down and covering for the Johnson City Press? Who can make it down there next week?
Are we talking about baseball or softball?
Both.
Okay, so in baseball, Science Hill got a shot. Elizabethton has a shot. And University High's got a shot. It's going to be tough. I think if they beat Greenback, they're going to have a much better chance. But they got a chance. I wouldn't discount them. Softball, none of our local teams are still alive in AAA. AA, the Unicoi County Elizabethton winner, I think should make the state. And then single, I think Unaka will make the state, but they'll have to play well in the sectional game.
We're talking to Doug Fritz. So your take on this, you're the first guy I've had on the show to talk about this. The Supreme Court rules it's unconstitutional to regulate sports gambling, and so they're going to get out of the business. They're now, as of Monday, Supreme Court's decision allowing states to legislate the legality of sports betting. It's now a state-by-state decision. So the other part, NCAA is going to be involved in this directly, obviously. There's going to be more betting now, more open betting on college football, basketball, whatever's out there the colleges will be able to bet on. I guess you knew this. Restrictions were lifted allowing wine and beer sales at all NCAA championship events now. So things are changing from a moral standpoint, at least for me. I think they are. So now it's going to be up to the states themselves, state by state, to determine whether and in what capacity they wish to establish sports betting. So that's pro sports. That's also amateur sports. Now, before I let you weigh on this, let me give you all the facts on the table. All these pro sports want a cut of the action. The various sports leagues are seeking a 1% integrity fee, which I find that almost comical. Hello, David Compton. Find that comical to even use that word. Integrity fee, meaning 1% The total amount wagered will be payable to the applicable league. In this case, Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, whomever you bet at National Hockey League. Bet on baseball, 1% of your wager goes to Major League Baseball. Basically, 1% doesn't sound like much, but it is a lot of money. And then the players now say they want to cut of this action too. If you're going to bet on me, and Major League Baseball wants to cut because baseball is the product people are betting on. The Players Association want to cut because the players make baseball what it is, so they're entitled to a portion of any revenue derived from the game. Yeah. Then you come back with a second question. Does Pete Rose now have a chance in the Hall of Fame? This article says no, because he was banned from baseball because he bet on baseball as a manager. So there's lots and lots of subplots, or whatever you want to call it, in this story, but basically hitting it head on. What's your take?
Well, the thing that keeps coming back into my mind is that how we're supposed to be a good steward of the money that God blesses us with. And when, to me, gambling has and always will be a careless use of the money that you have. I mean, you're just taking it and saying, well, I don't need this money. I'll just throw it here and throw it there, and maybe it'll grow. I mean, it's just, it's like sticking darts in the wall. And you already have people who have conspiracy theories that games are fixed. This is just going to increase that and stuff. And you may, as we were talking before, you may see evidences of, what happens when because you were pointing out in here where it says that the kids can bet on their decision. Makes it possible for any quarterback or point guard to legally walk into a state gambling establishment and place a wager on not only their sport but their team. So it's 67 to 65. You're holding the ball for the last shot, and the point guard got a guy wide open for a three, and instead he jacks up his own three over a hand and shoots an air ball. Oh, shoot, I lost, but tonight I'm going to go home and collect $3,500. I mean, and it's funny that they say a 1% integrity fee. And fee. But the thing about that is I think that's really apropos, because 1% integrity is about what you're going to get out of that.
Well, I thought it was interesting to call it integrity.
Yeah.
Because that's, in my opinion, that's anything but that when you gamble. Because I don't gamble. And I know a lot of folks do, and they probably think I'm a prude and a whatever, and that's sticking in the mud. That's okay. I am, I guess, because I don't gamble. But it really opens up a can of worms, because, again, the scenario is, let's take a kid, middle income, or let's say a kid in the projects. He's in a position where he can go in and bet on a game that he can control, be it a quarterback or a point guard or running back, whatever the case may be, place kicker, you name it. And so he can, alter the outcome of a ball game based on the bet that he or she makes. People say, Tom, they wouldn't do that. Oh, really? Okay. Well, there was a thing called the Black Sox scandal back in, the 20s or 30s. So, anyway, I just think it opens up a big can of worms. And if you're the NCAA, how in the world, and I said this yesterday, and I'll go on record with anybody who wants to come on the show and argue the point, there's no way the NCAA can regulate this. There's no way. There's too many moving parts, too many kids involved, too many teams, too many sports. There's no way they can get a handle on it.
And it just opens the door for the unseemly types of people who, and there may be some people involved with gambling that try and do it the right way, whatever, but we know, just common sense tells us that there are people involved in gambling that aren't going to do it the right way. And this opens the door for some guy in Middle Tennessee, let's say, hey, I can make money by convincing this kid to throw this game, and I'm gonna give him whatever money it takes for me to make money. It becomes a business decision of immorality, but it's a business decision. So what are you going to do? You're going to tell, this kid, it's kind of like, the old quandary you see in all these, every time you watch a TV show or something, it's like, well, I did this wrong, but they were going to kill my family. So you got this kid out there, he's like, well, I did this wrong, but they're not going to kill my family, but I did this wrong so I can feed my family. Yep. And that doesn't make it right, but you're putting a 19-year-old kid in the crosshairs of a decision that's almost impossible. and you're saying, hey, I'm gonna give you $12,000. The University of Tennessee quarterback, poor kid, family barely making ends meet. We'll give you $12,000 if when you're playing Florida, it's 14 to 9. You're driving for the winning score. You just make sure that that ball doesn't cross the end zone. If you have to throw a pick, you have to throw it in the stands, whatever you got to do. And seems like a doomsday scenario, but we're talking about human nature here. We're talking about cash. We're talking about, the love of money. And we all know what the love of money is. And
the root of all evil.
It is. And so you can't tell me that this is going to be contained. I mean, it's going to.
No, they cannot.
Actually,
regulate.
what it'll probably do is it'll ruin sports. I don't know what it'll do at the professional level, but it may ruin sports at the amateur level. You may see kids start having to be paid to make them professionals at the college level to try and get out of this. But they're diving headfirst into a pool of just a big cesspool of junk.
I know. That's what I keep saying. And let's try this scenario. There's all kinds of scenarios, but here's one that's very plausible. All right, old Doug says, hey, Tom, you my man, you the tight end, I throw to you, you're my leading receiver in the season. Okay. Now, I went in and dropped $2,000 on this game. This thing rolls, we're going to stand and make about $25,000, $30,000. Okay? And tell you what you do, you go down and do that down and out pattern, which you normally just slip and fall or something.
Yep.
Or, I mean, you can sit and do these scenarios, get a lineman in there and say, okay, next time they blitz package, I'm going to get sacked, so I can't throw the touchdown or I can't run the play. So you kind of fall down, let the guy run around you, and we're going to get in the three-way split. I mean, it just keeps going. It just has tentacles. It's really scary.
Well, here's the really sad thing about it. Let's just take that same scenario there, and it's UT against Florida, and none of these kids are involved in any kind of gambling. But the tackle misses the block, the quarterback gets hit as he throws it, the tight end slips, the other team picks it off, runs in for the winning touchdown. What's the average bitter fan going to say? They're going to say, oh, you threw that,
it's
you
rigged.
gambled, you had the other thing. I don't see how this kind of a thing where they're allowing kids to bet on their own team, I can't imagine that that's going to stick and stay. I mean, that's what the article says. I can't buy it because it's just opening the door. You talk about Pandora's box. I mean, goodness gracious.
Talking to our buddy Doug Fritz, here's another little interesting story, too. This is on the heels of the college basketball scandal that's apparently going away, but I don't think it's going away. But it seems like it's going away, and I thought it was going to be a bigger situation than it was. But Skechers is now redefining the term sneaker wars. In a lawsuit filed in the district court in California against Adidas, the sneaker company claims it was put on unfair disadvantage as a result of the corruption schemes uncovered by the FBI's probe into corruption within college basketball related to Adidas. Skechers claims Adidas effectively blocked Skechers and other companies from competing on a level playing field for young NBA-level endorsers and unfairly bolstered consumer perceptions of Adidas's overall brand and image well beyond the basketball footwear market. Basically is, you've cut me out of the picture. I can't make any money because of this basketball scandal. So Adidas, Skechers says they play by the rules. They were not given a fair opportunity to compete for the trend-setting high school, college, and college athletes seen in the products because Adidas had the market cornered illegally because of the corruption. And so now Skechers is suing Adidas saying, hey, you guys illegally blocked my chance to present my product to kids to wear like they are wearing for Adidas, and so therefore they're suing Adidas. So here's a spin-off of a major story, and it just, what's the book say? It just gets worse and worse and worse. You tell a lie to cover a lie, and it's just, so now the basketball scandal is of itself. The tennis shoe company is now suing the other tennis shoe company for an unfair advantage, and so there's just more and more subplots.
So Skechers wants to be involved in the corruption. They don't get a chance. They want to be involved in the corruption.
That's exactly what it says. You got to make money being corrupt, and we didn't.
Well, how about this is going to kind of combine a little bit of that, but what we're talking about the gambling. How about a parent who sues the university because they feel like their son lost the opportunity to play in the NFL because somebody else on their team threw a game because of gambling, and they bring a lawsuit against the university for allowing that kid to play. I mean, it gets ridiculous after a while to start adding on to this and that and the other thing. But that's, we're headed in at least in that general direction.
How about this? Let's say Adidas takes the top 5 kids off XYZ team and says, here's the shoes, here's the endorsement product. Well, Doug Fritz is the 6th best guy on the team, or maybe he's the 4th best guy on the team. Now, let's say he's the 6th best guy on the team. He doesn't get that opportunity. So now his mom and daddy said, wait a minute. Skechers is sitting over here. They would have given my boy some money to be a contract, but Adidas blocked some my Doug Fritz guy, who's the 6th best team on the 6th best player on the team. He didn't get a chance to wear and make big money to help the family. So we're going to sue Adidas because they blocked my son from getting a chance to get Skechers. And you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It just continues to perpetuate itself. And again, I'm going to go back to my original statement, and I'll stick by it till the cows come home. The NCAA cannot regulate what they've opened up Pandora's box to do. There's no way. They cannot. I mean, let's take here on the local scene, and we'll move on to another topic. East Tennessee State probably has how many kids on the football team? Ballpark, 60, 70?
I was going to say, I would guess closer to 70, but I'm just guessing off the top of my head.
70 there. How many's at UT?
Probably like more close to 100, maybe?
100. Virginia Tech, 100?
Yeah.
Okay, there's 275 kids at 3 schools. This is just football. This doesn't count all the other sports. This is just football only. And they all scatter as they probably have for the most part. Most of them are going home for the summer now. So once this goes into place, there's no way they can. Doug Fritz goes back to, I'll go back to West Virginia. Doug's here in Johnson City. This player goes off to, I don't know, pick a place, Tullahoma, Tennessee. There's no way they can regulate what you're doing in the summer. If you're sitting talking to some bookie, I mean, they just can't do it. There's no way.
Well, here's the thing, too. What if Virginia Tech, let's just take Virginia Tech, what if they tell their kids when they come back, they say, look, we don't want to be involved in this, so therefore we're not allowing any of y'all to bet. And if we find out you bet, we're going to kick you off the team. And then a kid goes out and bets, which is now legal to do. Then he sues Virginia Tech because you can't kick me off the team for doing something that's legal to do.
There you go.
So you've almost kept the universities from being able to.
So you see my point. We've given 4 legitimate scenarios here in the last 10 minutes. So it's going to get crazy. I mean, it's going to be crazy enough for the pro teams to get an integrity fee. I mean, you're talking. I don't bet, so I don't have a clue. But let's say pick a football game. I don't know, pick a college game, Tennessee, Florida. Let's say there's $4 or $5 million wagered in Vegas. Well, 1% of $5 million is $50,000 if I did my ciphering right.
And this is one game.
That's one game. And then when do the colleges go, hey, wait a minute. If you're betting on Tennessee, Florida ought to get a cut of this action. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Our athletic department should benefit from you making money off us because we're not out on the field. You don't have anything to bet on. Just stay tuned. It's crazy, I'm telling you. All right, so let's switch gears. NBA, Cavaliers and Celtics. Celtics beat them again last night. They beat them by, 15? They're down 2-0. LeBron had a triple-double. Didn't matter. Celtics team ball beat them. Are the Cavaliers in trouble? Game 3 Saturday night.
Absolutely, they're in trouble. And I'll tell you what the biggest part of it, and I just watched enough of that game to get a feel for what that series is all about. What that series is all about is the Boston Celtics. I do not like the Boston Celtics. I've been a Lakers fan since Magic Johnson joined the Lakers, okay? But let me tell you something. After watching that game last night, the Boston Celtics are beating the Cleveland Cavaliers based on one thing and one thing only, and that is effort. I mean to tell you, Cleveland got a rebound last night. I can't remember who it was, but the guy from the Celtics came from behind him and dove and knocked the ball away. Then the Celtics came back into the lane, missed a shot. A guy came flying out of the corner, rebounded and stuck it back in, mostly while Cleveland just standing there looking at him going like this. LeBron James plays with a lot of passion, and he played with that passion and effort last night. You don't put up, you said 42 points, 10, or whatever it was. You don't do that without playing without passion, but he's got a bunch of teammates. A, they're not that talented, but B, they're not playing with the effort. And Boston should beat them based on that. Now, it should be a different scenario I'm assuming Golden State's going to beat Houston. I hope that holds up because I don't think Houston will beat Boston. I think the only team that's going to stop Boston is potentially Golden State. And I think Golden State can, but we'll see what happens.
Talking to our buddy Doug Fritz, got one more topic. I'm going to let you go eat, and I'm going to finish things up with stories coming out of NASCAR today. All right, Nick Saban. Central Florida said they won the national championship. You've heard about this now.
I have not heard about this.
Oh, yeah, they had a parade in Disney World. National championship rings made. They've had national championship apparel and even a sign claiming the 2017 national championship on the side of a stadium. All right. So they finally get Nick to open up about this, the Crimson Tide. And this is what he says. I love this guy's quote. He says, quote, this is Nick Saban talking about his thoughts on the fictitious national championship with Central Florida. Quote, if you honor and respect the system that we have, despite some of the imperfections that you understand that the system has, then you wouldn't do something out of respect for the system that we have. I guess anybody has the prerogative to claim anything, but self-proclaimed is not the same as actually earning it. Ooh. There's probably a significant number of people who don't respect people who make self-proclaimed sort of accolades for themselves. Ooh. So, made his point. Central Florida finished the season 13-0, beat Auburn 34-27 to the Peach Bowl on New Year's Day. You know, didn't run through the schedule that Alabama did, of course. So Scott Frost, I don't think he takes this too seriously. He has already bolted for Nebraska anyway. But Nick comes out and says, you know, it looks good, sounds good, but it ain't the national championship. That belongs in Tuscaloosa, where it is. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't see. I'm not sure what Central Florida is trying to accomplish there by that. I mean, it kind of makes them look small in my eyes. I mean, it just
absolutely.
I mean, you have to. I mean, you got to get just because you don't like a system doesn't mean you try and take something away from somebody else. If you want to harp about it and gripe about it and say, hey, I wish we got a shot, or next year we better get a shot, or all those things. But to try and take away something that somebody else earned and rightly deserves is small. And I hope that they'll come out in the next couple of weeks and say, hey, this is they need to apologize basically to Alabama and to college football across the country, college football fans.
Saban's quote again says, I guess anybody has the prerogative to claim anything, but self-proclaimed is not the same as actually earning it. Boom. That pretty much took care of it for me. There's probably a significant number of people who don't respect people who make self-proclaimed sort of accolades for themselves, end quote. That's Nick Saban's reaction to Central Florida continue to say they're their national champions instead of Alabama.
Yeah.
So they're smoking something in Orlando.
And just because they beat Auburn doesn't mean they could have or would have beaten Alabama. I mean, there was one year not too long ago, I can't remember exactly when it was, it may have been quite a few years ago, but there was one year where you could do the stair step, this team beat this team, beat this team, and ETSU was the national champion under that. I mean, it's just ridiculous, really. I mean, it's just so it shows you how far-fetched it could be. I'm talking about ETSU in football.
I will go on record right now and tell you that if Alabama played UCF 10 times, Alabama would win 10 times. I'm telling you. They were a juggernaut last year. They were very, very good. And they beat a heck of a Georgia team. You know,
with their backup quarterback.
Yeah. Who did they beat? So who did they beat to get to Georgia? Was it Oklahoma? No.
No, Georgia beat Oklahoma, so Alabama beat. Wow, it's only been a couple. But what does that tell you though about how stuff gets out of your mind that quickly? I can remember Alabama won national championship. I remember that Georgia-Oklahoma game being a wild thing. Was it Ohio State? Clemson? It was Clemson. Okay, it was a rematch with Clemson. That's right.
It was Oklahoma and Georgia.
But again, just a couple months later, that's like the from the movie Facing the Giants when Alex Kendrick is addressing the kids and he says, tell me who won the state championship 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, and the kids are like guessing all these names. He said, no, it was such and such. The kids didn't know who won the state championship, and all these kids want to do is win a state championship. But that's how fast things get out of your mind. You know, it disappears because, you know, one day's gone, next day's here, and everybody's looking toward 2018 football season.
Dr. Walton said Clemson. Yes, that's what happens when you get old. I forgot. So, yep, Clemson, Alabama, and Georgia and Oklahoma was the Final Four. So, anyway, Central Florida has every right to crow. They had a great year. They can't crow about being a national championship because they ain't. That's not good English, but they're not. So there you go.
Now, I tell you who they could have beaten. Central Florida maybe could have beaten that Brigham Young team that went 13-0. And remember that team back in the day? And I don't remember if they were they national. Did they give them the national championship? They beat Michigan in the whatever. I can't remember. But Brigham Young had a 13-0 season back in the day, and so maybe UCF could beat them, or maybe UCF could have beaten one of those good Boise State teams.
For some reason, all I can remember is the coach's name, Lavelle Edwards. Beyond that, I can't.
Yeah, it was Lavelle Edwards. I'll have to go look that up and figure that out. Figure where. All I can remember is that Michigan was 6-5, and Brigham Young played them in a bowl game, and Brigham Young was 12-0. Of course, Brigham Young beat them, and so Brigham Young said, "Hey, we're national champions because we beat Michigan." And Michigan was like I said, they were 6-5, I think.
So anyway, stay tuned to the sports betting thing. West Virginia State. I don't know what Leslie's watching up in Charleston, West Virginia, watching. She said West Virginia State. I don't know what. That's who. Maybe that's who she's telling me that they beat Central Florida, West Virginia State. I don't know, but anyway, Doug Prince, great job, my friend.
Thank you.
Gonna get something to eat.
All right.
6 o'clock first pitch tonight. You think it's in jeopardy?
I really think that they're going to play as long as I looked at the radar, and it looks like there's maybe some breaking up around 5 o'clock or so, but of course it could just come right back in after that. So I don't know, but if it's not storming or raining to beat the band at 6 o'clock, I think they'll go ahead and try and play, because on that field, you can play. It doesn't. The water just basically goes away, and then I'm sure if it's raining at the time, it's probably. But it's that turf, and it's not like you're.
Is it artificial turf?
Yeah, field turf all the way.
Oh, you just use this?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, from center field to home plate. Unlike TBA Credit Union, which is just in the infield, I believe.
I didn't know that. Well, that is a difference. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, no, they can. That's what I'm saying. They'll play if it's not just pouring the rain at 6 o'clock. The same way they could do that at DB. DB's field at Jay Fred's the same way,
I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm not called a game at Thomas Stadium yet, so.
Okay. Yes. No, it is, and it's nice, and they can.
Oh, then.
And I think that they will play and get the game in again. But now, if it's pouring, it's one of those things. If it's pouring the rain, you could still play, but it comes down to that thing. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You got to take these kids. This is a region championship. You don't want to play in insane conditions, in a downpour. So I don't know.
Dr. Walton says the Holiday Bowl 1984. So.
Okay, so Holiday Bowl in 1984. So I was thinking mid-'80s, but I wasn't 100% sure. I was trying to think how Brigham Young could have played Michigan back then. Because it used to be that I don't know. Did they let the Big Ten? Did they let more than one team go? I can't remember. But I know the Big Ten champ always went to Rose Bowl, because I guess Michigan was the runner-up. But
I don't even know what day it is. This is Wednesday. I'm at Chick-Fil-A.
Come on, Tom. 1984 was only.
Yeah, that's George Orwell.
So many years ago.
1984, and that George Orwell. That's the best thing I can give you.
I was 2 years out of high school then, so.
Well, I wasn't, so we won't go down that trail. Oh, go get you something good to eat, would you?
That's great. Whoever got that 1984 Holiday Bowl, that's awesome.
Barry Walton. You can't get anything past him. Mike Smith is a mark.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal. That's a good call there.
It used to say
he must be a Brigham Young fan, or maybe he's
a Michigan. He bleeds. No, he's a Roll Tide fan.
Oh, he's a Roll Tide fan.
But he's a great sports guy.
All right, there you go. Well, that's even better. If he doesn't even have connections to Brigham Young, he pulled that one out of the air. That's great. Unless he Googled it, and we detract 15 points from him if he Googled it.
If he Googled it. Now, here's the most important question before you leave. Have you put your name in to win tickets to Dollywood yet?
No, but apparently need to do that. So let's see, how do I do that? I got to go to TomTaylorSports.com/contest. That's TomTaylorSports.com/contest. Enter now.
Here you go. Enter now. No purchase necessary.
No purchase necessary. All fees tax prohibited.
You can use. There you go. You can use them anytime between now and the end of the year. When's your favorite time to go to Dollywood? Summertime, fall, Christmas?
It's that time of year where instead of the lines being like this, they're like this. Whenever that is. August, September, early September, that's it.
It's the most wonderful time. Guess how many days for Christmas?
Wait. See, 187.
Nope.
What?
Get one more guess. Higher.
211.
Closer. A little bit higher.
220.
222.
Ah. There used to be a TV show, Room 222.
Room 222, yeah.
What year was that, Dr. Barry Walton?
He says, go ahead and subtract the 15 points.
He Googled it.
He Googled it. Take 15 off of him, so there you go.
All right, so he moves out of first place.
He's in a tie for second. So, you know how much I appreciate you coming to the show?
I don't know.
Well, I do.
Okay.
I think you really make the show. All my guests make the show.
That's cool.
I'm a trained orangutan. How could I not pull this off and bring guys like you in, and Greg Salyer and David Compton with the Cardinals and Barry Walton? So, anyway, go get something to eat.
All right. I appreciate you.
Looks like there may be a baseball game. If it's
Hey, I'm not counting out this softball game that Unicoi Elizabeth do, because those, I tell you what, they're probably out there working on the field right now, digging and pulling and scraping and crashing. They're going to do everything they can to get that game in. So we'll see.
Called that doubleheader the other night too. You talking about a fun game? Well, you were there. That's right. You were up in the press box.
It was hot. It was really, really hot.
Oh, yeah.
That was tremendous. And those two teams, Unicoi and Elizabeth, compete so hard against each other. And the two coaches are such good guys. But they'll go tooth and nail against each other, and then after the game they'll shake hands and say, "Well, we'll see you again soon," And it's just like that's what high school sports should be about, is that Unicoi Elizabeth and softball rivalry. There's no hatred there. The kids like each other, they get along, and they just play hard and they try and win, and that's what it should be about.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks, sir.
You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Our buddy Doug Fritz, appreciate him very much. Live here again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's wrap things up with our stories coming out of NASCAR. We got a couple of things, some moving parts in NASCAR here again on this Wednesday. One of those two drivers again got nailed for post-race inspections, big time nailing. Kyle Larson in the 42 machine, again a rear window support and structure to the tune of his crew chief $50,000 fine. Car Chief David Bryan has been suspended for the next two Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series Championship points events. The team has been assessed with a loss of 20 driver's points and owner points, so Kyle Larson drops in the standings for sure. Joey Logano, again, tires and wheels, lug nuts not properly installed. Crew Chief Todd Gordon has been fined $10,000. So let me ask you this question, because I don't get this, and I'm in NASCAR. I, as you know, do the announcing of the speedways. I'm around the sport. If I was a driver, maybe you don't know this when you're in the car, but do I want to be leaving the pits, going back out in excess of usually anywhere from, depending on what track you're on, 150, 160, 170 miles an hour in a car with going bumper to bumper with people and either don't have them all on or they're not properly secured. We're talking about the lug nuts on the wheels. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to drive out of this parking lot at 2 miles an hour in a vehicle that does not have all my lug nuts on all the bolts, nor does it have the ones on there tightly secured. Maybe they know about this, I don't know, but it continues to be almost a weekly scenario. So now Logano, not properly installed lug nuts, post-race inspection Kansas. His crew chief's been fined $10,000. So there you go. Also coming out of NASCAR, we talk about sponsors going away from the sport. Here's a sponsor coming onto the sport. Hertz Rent-A-Car, world's largest vehicle rental companies, has joined 12-time NASCAR Cup Series champion Hendrick Motorsports as a primary sponsor for leading Rookie of the Year contender William Byron and his number 24 Chevrolet Camaro that he's driving in the absence of Jeff Gordon. And so that starts now. Hertz becoming the primary sponsor of the number 24 team in 4 points-paying Cup Series races in both this year and next year. So Hertz now in the car of William Byron going forward, starting coming up to Charlotte next week after next, with the Coca-Cola 600. Kaz Gralla, let go, team shutting down at the Xfinity Series. Just want to give everyone an update on some recent changes that have been happening. Had a contract to race full-time for JGL Racing in 2018. I've been informed that they are no longer going to honor that contract. I am deeply disappointed, but I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to kick off my career in the Xfinity Series. And so team spokesman says the team is shutting down the number 24 ride for the time being because of a lack of sponsorship. So Kaz Gralla, currently 19th in points in the Xfinity Series, again is out of a race car starting effective immediately. Hello, John Hutchins. Again, the big story for the Elizabethton Cyclone baseball team. They have switched the game. We're going to play at 6 o'clock tonight at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. So the Buccaneers home field here in Johnson City. It's all artificial surface, so we'll see if we can get that one going. It continues to rain here, so we'll see if we can get that one started even in the rain. We'll see. Again, you didn't ask me, but I think if you play this game, any team, not just Elizabethton or the Lady Cyclones, with what's at stake, the regional championship and home field advantage on Wednesday night, I'm waiting until it's crystal clear. You say, well, we got rain forecast today, tomorrow, and Friday. Okay. I'm still waiting the best opportunity. Elizabethton's, 32-8. This is the 41st game of the season. We're playing for home field advantage Friday night to either go to Alcoa or Pigeon Forge. I know they got to get the games in because the tournament, state tournament starts next week in Murfreesboro on Tuesday. But I'm telling you, a game of this magnitude and what's on the line for this baseball team or softball team, either one of those playing tonight, no, I'm going to make sure I got the best possible playing conditions before I put my team out there on the field. And I'm sure Ryan Presnell has done that or is doing that. So, anyway, hello, John Hutchins. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Let's run down again real quick who's scheduled to play. In regional baseball, Science Hill at Seymour tonight at 7 o'clock. That's Triple-A. Double-A, Elizabethton at Greenville. Now being moved to 6 o'clock at Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State. Single-A, it's University High's Junior Bucks baseball at Greenback. University High 22-10, Greenback at 27-8. In softball tonight, Triple-A, Morristown East at Jeff County at 6 o'clock. In Double-A softball, Unicoi County at Elizabethton at 6 o'clock. Lady Blue Devils at 37-9. Lady Cyclones at 25-13, as Doug said, playing for the third time this season. I'm sorry, playing for the sixth time this season. And in Single-A, softball championship tonight, North Green at 11-14 at Unaco's 26-10. That one's scheduled to go at 6 o'clock tonight. So we will go and see if we can get it rolling. If we do, we'll be on there at 5:30 with the pregame. 6 o'clock, first pitch from Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State University, the Buccaneers home field. So if we can get it rolling, we can. If we won't, you flip it on to 5:30, you'll go, either I'm there doing pregame or we won't be. We'll be playing tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But right now it continues to rain here in Johnson City. Big thanks to our guest, David Compton of the Johnson City Cardinals, Greg Salyer with his Major League Baseball update, and our last guest, of course, Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press, Kingsport Times News. Out of time, we sincerely thank you for yours. If we play, we'll rejoin you at 5:30 this afternoon from Thomas Stadium at East Tennessee State for Elizabethton, Cyclone, Greenville, Green Devil, Region 1 AA Championship Baseball. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. We'll be at Freddy's here in North Johnson City. Until then, at 5:30 this afternoon or 11 o'clock tomorrow, this is Tom Taylor telling you as always, win or lose, be a good sport. So long from Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, show number 748 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.